Welcome athletes to a quick highlights video of round 2 Portugal in the ACA or Division 3 level of Formula Sim racing. I'm back in Division 3 permanently now, which I'll explain later. I deliberately put myself right down the back for turn 1 by having a deliberately rubbish start because I just wanted to be a master of my own destiny through Sector 1, and we're watching cars fall by the wayside here. I just didn't want any heroes behind me trying to be the last of the late great breakers on cold tyres and full tanks into turn 1. And as usual, we start to see people sort of making little errors, falling off the track, getting pushed off the track, and I think that's 3 or 4 passes already as we enter Sector 2. Bit of a hairy moment here, and I just managed to miss that driver's front wing as we enter Sector 2 of lap 1 and start to get a bit of a bead on what's going on. This guy ahead on the hard tyres runs a bit wide. That corner seemed quite tricky for people running on hard tyres the whole race through. And now I just sort of stabilise in a position behind this yellow car. I'm on my soft tyre stint, and there's a bit of a strategic element to this which I sort of got wrong amongst a couple of other things. But the good thing that happened was that well, was good for me. One of our drivers, I'll just talk over the action here. Another guy spinning out here on that corner is called VIP. That's actually lap 2. One of our drivers decided FSR Division 3 wasn't for him and decided to depart. And the team, you can just see how much later I can brake there than the prime tyre runner. I'm sort of stuck behind these 2 yellow cars, both from the same team, for quite a few laps. But I got a promotion effectively into Division 3. The last time was meant to be sort of a one-off appearance, but I guess I could be pleased to say I've sort of fought my way back into a full-time Division 3 seat. Now that guy in the blue car made a fantastic overtake there and really showed me what was possible. Here's a replay. Just got a great run on me down the straight and made short work of me through turn 1. There was little point fighting that move. Now he's gone up ahead to do battle with these 2 yellow cars, and another lap later, and he's not taking any prisoners, dives up the inside for turn 2 there and gets the job done on the first of the 2 yellow cars, while my good self, I'm cruising around wasting all my soft tyre pace, stuck behind these yellow cars. I get a couple of runs on them. I'm constantly having to sort of brake super early, nearly running into the rear of these cars because the prime tyre runner, particularly if they're covering the apex, is just a bit slow on corner entry. But I just can't seem to get enough momentum to really throw a challenge down the inside. Maybe I should have tried a bit harder, but the net result was I cruised around for 17 laps at about 1 second off my expected race pace. There's another car there, had an off there in Sector 3. So gradually worked my way up here, but through attrition. But the cost of following these yellow cars around meant that my front tyres were absolutely nuked and I wasn't really making any pace. So I decided to lap a little bit early. Oh, this is an interesting one. These are 2 teammates. The first yellow car has a bit of an off there at the interior parabolica. Everything looks okay, and bang, he moves back over onto the racing line. Either didn't see me or was defending aggressively, or was just too focused on the fact he'd led his teammate through and now he could move back over. But it was a bit of a hairy move. I've written to him on the forum to see if he wanted to make any remarks about it. So I've continued on here, sort of showing my nose a bit and trying to threaten a little bit. I've actually touched his gearbox there on the entry to turn 1. So much later was my braking. But it was just a little bit of a dirty air fest. My front tyres were down into the 40% area, and I've decided to pit a couple of laps early and see if that can help me. Come out again for a second stint. Now I've got another wreck here in Sector 3. Got to drive around him. My route around that spun car, unfortunately, just gave me a lousy exit out of the parabolica onto the straight, and this guy in the yellow car got a run on me. We're running 22nd, 23rd at the moment, having pitted, but we're going to work our way up a little bit. It was a 44 lap race, and it felt a bit different to last round. Last round was a bit of I was a guy who had nothing to lose. Started at another car had an off there, got to avoid him. This time it sort of felt like I was wearing the long pants a bit, had to try to prove myself. My quali pace in the build up to this race had been pretty good, but another car there, it looked like that might have been a hardware issue at home, because that was a really weird place to pull over. And quali pace had been quite good, and that was part of the reason why I got the gig to move up to Division 3. And I was feeling pretty good about the race. Didn't get everything right. I mean, I think next time, if it's a track that's hard to overtake on, and I'm going to start down the back, I'll start off on my primes and use up whatever laps I've got to do on primes, and then come out fighting. I think 2 option stint and a short prime stint is going to end up being the average strategy for the race distance we do in ACA, which we do 60% of the World Championship race distance. Now, the other thing, apart from strategy, that I got wrong and having a bad quali, was we didn't do a full test race on our team server for some technical reasons. And last round I was very particular about testing things like brake disc life. We ran a test race, and I double checked how much front brake wear we'd had and made a decision on what thickness to run. The thinner discs give you a tiny bit of a performance advantage due to unsprung weight, but they've got to last the race. And what happened here was eventually worked my way up into, I think, 11th place. That's a lapped car there, so I've lapped somebody. And having got up to 11th, and then as I pass pit lane here, I get as high as 10th, and then bang, my left front disc explodes, and I had simply not made the correct decision about front discs. So I was out. I ran P10 for 7 seconds and was out. So a bit of an average round all told.